The recent debate in Parliament surrounding the petition for a general election, which amassed over 3 million signatures, has become a battleground for political discourse in the UK. This petition, initiated by Michael Westwood, called for the government to act on the growing discontent among the public. The sheer volume of signatures, 3,022,385 to be exact, has forced the government to acknowledge the weight of public sentiment, even though many signatures came from outside the UK, indicating a level of international interest in British politics. The Petitions Committee held a nearly 3-hour debate to address the issues raised by this petition. MPs from various parties, including Labour, the Conservatives, and the Liberal Democrats, took to the floor to express their concerns about government policies. This debate was a showcase of democracy in action, but it's clear that the government is not ready to entertain the idea of a general election anytime soon. Prime Minister Keir Starmer's dismissal of the petition highlights the government's determination to remain in power despite widespread calls for change. The government's position is crystal clear. They were elected with a mandate that stems from the July 2024 general election, and their focus is on rebuilding the country and restoring public confidence. However, this rhetoric falls flat when citizens feel their voices are ignored. The debate was not just a formality, it was a reflection of the frustrations felt across the nation regarding issues like the economy, energy policies, and immigration. These are not trivial matters, they are the very foundation of people's lives and livelihoods. During the debate, MP Yasmin Qureshi from Bolton South and Walkden articulated the sentiments of many frustrated citizens. The discussion was framed around pressing concerns that affect everyday people, and it served as a reminder of the disconnect between the government and the electorate. While the chair of the Petitions Committee, Jamie Stone, praised the ability of Parliament to engage in open debate, one must question whether this is enough. Is merely discussing issues enough when urgent action is required? The nature of this petition debate was inherently limited. While it allowed for a discussion of significant issues, it did not culminate in actionable outcomes. This highlights a critical flaw in the petition system. It can bring issues to the forefront but lacks the power to effect real change. Mr. Stone's comments about the importance of public engagement through petitions are valid, but they also underscore the limitations of this form of advocacy. A petition should not be a substitute for a functioning democracy, it should be a starting point for real political action. What happens now, following this debate? Essentially, not much. The government has acknowledged the petition, but it remains steadfast in its position. The issues raised will continue to be discussed, but without any tangible change in policy or direction. This is the paradox of the petition system. It demonstrates public sentiment without translating that sentiment into political action. The voice of the people can be heard, but it is often met with indifference from those in power. As the debate concluded, the chair reiterated that this was a sign of a healthy democracy, yet one must ponder how healthy a democracy truly is when the voices of millions are brushed aside. The fact that a petition can gather such substantial support should be a wake-up call for the government. It indicates that people are dissatisfied and eager for change. Ignoring this reality could lead to further disengagement and resentment towards the political establishment. The government needs to recognize that merely acknowledging public petitions is insufficient. It must act to address the underlying issues that fuel these petitions in the first place. The inability to respond to the cries for a general election suggests a government that is out of touch with its constituents. The time for debate is over, the time for action is now. In conclusion, while the debate surrounding the petition for a general election was a necessary exercise in democracy, it ultimately serves as a reminder of the limitations of the current political system. The petition reflects a significant public sentiment, but without a willingness from the government to engage meaningfully with these concerns, it risks becoming just another voice in the void. The government must step up and take responsibility for the growing discontent among the public. Otherwise, it will find itself facing an electorate that has lost faith in its ability to represent their interests.